All right, so this is typography, fall of 2019. This is a live recording in class. So the quality on this will be, well, we'll see. Be patient with us. All right, so I'm looking at week 3, and we are working on assignment number 2, part 1. This is 20 points. This will have 2 parts, but right now we're covering part 1. I'm going to go to the assignment link on Ivy Learn, and here it is. And what we have here is we have an attachment which has exercise 2 material in there. It's pretty much similar in fonts that we used for exercise 1, so those might already be preloaded. But let's see what else we have. Now, you guys know we need to work on file management. So I'm going to open up my typography folder I created for this semester, and I am going to put my exercise 2 files in here by creating a new folder and calling it exercise 2. Now there's 2 parts. So I'm going to open that folder, and I'm going to create a new folder called Part 1. Now the keyboard shortcut for new folder is Shift-Command-N for new.
Or just right-click.
Or right-click, new folder. I'm just a keyboard shortcut junkie. It saves me a ton of time. So I've downloaded the file here, and I'm going to drag it over from my little progress bar down there to my Part 1. I don't even have to go to my desktop or downloads or anything. Obviously, I've downloaded this a couple of times. I'm going to expand it by double-clicking on it. This is a zip file. Once I expand it, I can actually throw away the little zip file. Now, you'll see I have body copy and fonts. We are using the same fonts that we used in exercise 1, so these should already be loaded. And I have the text here. I think it's the same as last time, so we should be good. Yes, we have a question.
Yeah, which page are you on to get that link?
I am in assignment 2, part 1. So if I click on assignments, typographic exercise 2, part 1, type arrangements, 20 points. Thank you for asking. Yes, another question. You don't see assignment 2, part 1? Well, I'm in my student view, so it should be showing up. Yeah, I usually just start with my announcement. Is it there?
Yeah.
Exercise 2, part 1, yeah. It's called typographic exercise number 2, part 1. Yeah, I should just rename these and call this EX2 part 1, but I put it all in regular language. Okay, so we want to download those files. It may be likely these are similar to what we worked on with our first one. I just opened it up to see what it is, and it looks a lot like what we had before, but I'm going to go ahead and use these anyway. While I'm here, I'm going to organize my exercise 1 stuff, and I am going to pop those back in here from the desktop. I want to clean up my stuff. There we go. The exact same stuff. Well, I just don't want you guys to do without, so there you go. Okay. Now, let's open the InDesign software. Ignore what I have here for just a moment. I'm going to close that. We want to create a new document, and to save you guys on printing money, I'm only having us do one 8.5 by 11 document for part 1 of exercise 2. I'm going to click on the print button in the new document window, and I want to make sure it's letter. Turn facing pages off. This is not a book. We'll go ahead and go with a 3 pica margin, and 3 pica is equivalent to how many inches?
1/16.
1 pica would be 1/6. There's 6 picas in an inch. How big is 3 picas with regard to inches? What's that? Half an inch. I know you guys are lying. Wait a minute, she's throwing a lot at us today. There's 6 picas in an inch, 3 picas is a half an inch. We're going to leave it at half an inch.
You're asking for our students to do that.
I know. I'm just trying my best to get you guys used to math. Now I'm going to hit create. Oh, wait. 2 columns. If you already hit create, let me know. I'll tell you how to get your columns in. 2 columns, 1 pica between is fine. Yes, Jess?
The margins are 3 picas all around.
3 picas all the way around. Yes, thank you. So we have an 8.5 by 11 inch document, but it happens to be in picas, so it's 51 picas by 66 picas. We are working in 2 columns with a 1 pica gutter between them, and we have 3 picas for our margins. That would equal to a 1/2 inch all the way around. Yes, Tristan? No, turn facing pages off. Thank you for asking. The only time we have facing pages on, guys, is when we're working in brochures or multiple page booklets. Otherwise, we will make sure we turn that off. But by default, it's on. Yes.
How big are the pages supposed to be?
51 picas by 66 picas, which is equivalent to 8.5 by 11.
I'm good.
I keep trying to type in 1 pica, but it autos into 11. It's very strange.
1 pica for what? Because I didn't specify
The
1
column gutter.
pica. The column gutter 1p.
Yeah, 1p, but it's not letting me type that in.
Type 1.
Now, if you are in inches, you can type in 1p and it will convert it to 0.166. I'm not sure what's going on there.
There's some help from that.
How are we doing over there, folks? You doing all right? Jordan, did you get her?
We're doing that.
Something's going crazy over there? Okay, let me take a look.
It's very strange.
It does sound strange.
So try to type in 1 p0 here.
Okay, so part of your problem is you are in a custom document and it can't take it. Go to print, save the lecture, and then choose letter. Turn off facing pages and type in there you go.
Well, that shouldn't change how that works.
Well, if the custom size was too small to take the 1 pica gutter, I'm not sure. I didn't look to see how many
I
picas.
did do double.
Double P?
It was doing 1 p 0
Oh, it's because it was in pixels or something. Because you didn't start out with a print document, it was probably starting out with either pixels or something else. I don't know. I didn't really look.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, make sure when you start the documents that you click on print. Otherwise, it will give you something random that you don't even know what measurement it's using. It might be using pixels per inch. It might be using all sorts of different kinds of measures. So we'll click on print before we start anything and then choose a print document. Okay, now hit preview so you can see what you're getting, and you can move this little guy off the side. It should look like mine. If it does not, you have something very off. Everybody looking good in their preview? Yes? Okay, so I'm going to hit create. Okay, now here's something really cool. A lot of people don't know this, even advanced users. A lot of people don't know that you can move the width of the column. You can have a short column and a wide column. And we're going to do that on this. If I look in the assignment, the maximum picas that I'm working with as far as my column width, one of them is 24 picas. The next size down is 20 picas. Well, I want to accommodate that 24 pica column width. So I don't want to have to deal with rulers and math and dragging stuff, and I am so lazy or efficient or whatever. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a text box as wide as the column. Okay? Just draw a text box as wide as the column. Now, because I don't want to click and drag anything because I need accuracy, if you then hit the escape key, which will give you your selection tool, the toolbar looks, or the control panel looks different now. Here this says the width is 22 picas. If I'm trying to accommodate the largest width of the box for the 4 boxes I'm going to have type in, I'm seeing that according to the assignment, 24 picas is going to be the widest box. Okay? So I typed in 24 and I hit the tab key.
This is for P4?
This would be for paragraph 4, yes. So I might even move it down here a little bit because it's going to be the last paragraph. So its position will roughly be down there somewhere. Now, many folks, again, don't know that you can move the gutter. Most of the time, there's no reason to. Depends on how you're using your grid. So I need to move this gutter, which is the space between the columns. I want to move it so it lines to the outside of this box. Now, here's how we do this. Likely you've never done this before, I'm assuming. Most of you are new to InDesign anyway. you want to go to View, and you want to go to Grids and Guides, which is 3 up from the bottom, and uncheck Lock Column Guides. Uncheck it. So just click on it. Now with your selection tool, you can click and drag this guide so that it is to the outside left. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit of your body copy box. Okay? Yes. Oh, by just clicking and dragging with the type tool. Then hit the escape key so you can type in the 24 picas, which is in the control panel up there. Okay. Oh, yeah, that control panel thing is always hiding from you. One of the best things to do is if it says Essentials up here near the upper right-hand corner, click on Essentials and switch that to Typography. See if that helped your problem. There we go. Thank you for that. No, 24. Okay, so let me review this for a second because we had some serious problems with not having a control panel up there. So let me start over. To create a text box, I'm going to use the type tool. I'm going to create it as wide as the column just to start out with. I hit the escape key to get to my selection tool. Bless you. Now I'm going to go up to the control panel, and if you don't have a control panel, that means you'll have to switch from Essentials to Typography. Go up to the control panel, and in the W, the width of the box, you want to type in 24. It knows you're in picas, assuming you had this set in picas when you started out. If you are in inches, you'll have to type in 24p. Then I'm going to move this text box so that it aligns to the outside lower right area, near there. And we want to move this grid, what we call the gutter, we want to move it so it aligns to the outside. And again, to do that, you would go to View, Guides and Grids and Guides, and turn off Lock Column Guides. We're unlocking the column guides, which most people don't know how to do that, ironically. People who I've worked with and who are in the industry, oftentimes I'm really surprised at what they don't know. I'm always thrilled with what they know because they teach me, but then I'm like, hey, did you guys know this? And they're like, no. So you unlock the column guides and you snap it right in there to that edge. Snap to is on, so if you're careful about it, it'll snap right up to the edge of that box just fine. So you have 2 pink lines, or purple pink. One is snapping to the edge of the box, the bounding box, and the other is a pico away. You learned something new perhaps today, that you can adjust columns and have one column be wider than the other. Cool. I'm saving this because I don't want it to, freak out on me, lock up, whatever.
Nervous tick.
What's that?
It's your nervous tick. Oh.
My nervous tick. I hit Command S all the time. So I'm going to call it Bilberry R. Oops, excuse me, not K. That's somebody else. That's my sister-in-law. EX2P1. Oh, that's different. Exercise 2, Part 1. EX2P1. Oh, it's wanting to go to my Exercise 1 folder here. Ooh, maybe I need to click on the little arrow to the right of the name, drop that down, and go find my Exercise 2, Part 1 folder. There we go. I'm doing file management. Saving it to some place where I can go in a split second and find it and not have to go digging around for it. Okay. Now, just for giggles, I'm going to draw another text box right up. Let's see, Baskerville is going to be 20 picas. I'm going to do the Baskerville box right here. Oh my gosh, I'm so lucky. I clicked on the selection tool or hit the escape key, and I look at the width, and if I see the width, oh my gosh, math worked out just great. Look at that. 20 picas wide. Didn't even have to tell it to be 20 picas. It's because the math just works out. With this being 24 picas, plus a pica gutter, plus the 3 picas on each side, what was left over happened to be 20 picas. Life doesn't always work like that, but it did today. How sweet. All right. So there's a text box for my Baskerville. Now, typically when we're reading a publication, and it's in a columns like this, would we read from top down and then go to the right, or would we read from the top, then top left, and then go to the right and then come down? Top down, okay? So that's why I put the Baskerville one as second box below, or it's going to be the second box below. Now I need a box for Garamond. It's 13 picas, so I'm going to draw a text box right up here for Garamond somewhere. Now, you could sit there and click and drag and wait till your thing says 13p. It's live. But oftentimes, that's really, really not like you might get to 12p, 12p11, and then it won't go to 13p0. It'll go like 13p1, and you can't get 13p. If that's the case, hit the escape key, and then type the width in the width field. 13 picas. That's going to be your Garamond box. I don't know how tall they are. We'll adjust that later. And I should do this so they align nicely, shouldn't I? Now, Garamond is supposed to be 13 picas wide, so that's why I made the box smaller. It'd be nice to make it 20, but it's not. It says 13. Now, the top, let's see. I know I'm all over the place here, but if Garamond is going to be here, and we read from the top down, and Baskerville is here, it's safe to say that Bodoni would be right here. So let's draw a text box for Bodoni, and let's make it, Bodoni, 18 picas wide. So I'm going to go to the width and make it 18 picas. I'm going to keep it nice and aligned to the gutter there for now. Later on, I might aesthetically decide that is not beautiful, but for now, that's what I'm going to do. Kind of line these up too. Now, these will all look very much the same when they go to print. So, since these are going to look very much the same when they go to print, what should we do so that I can tell whose is whose when you print it out, or so that you can tell whose is whose when you go to the printer and pick it up? Put the name up there like we did the last time. We're going to go to the upper right-hand corner. I don't care what font. That's up to you. If you want to do it all fancy schmancy, you're welcome to. But make sure it's readable. As long as it's readable. If you use something like, this, not that, excuse me. I'll find something. If you do this, I can't read your name. I don't want to go through the Toucan Sam secret decoder thing that I got from my Fruit Loops box, okay? I don't need that. I need to be able to read it, yes.
Should we be putting this on the master page?
No, because we only have one page, but normally we would if we had multiple pages. Thank you. That's a really good question. You can if you want, just for practice. But you don't have to. Thank you for asking about that. That tells me you're paying a lot of attention to what we normally might do. Yeah, you want your points. I want you to want your points. Good job. All right. If I wanted this flush left, because, guys, things need to be tidy when you design. Alignments are super important. And this would look nice aligned to that column. If I wanted to make that flush left and I didn't want to change the width of my text box, what would I do to make that flush left? Double click? Too much work. Well, I already have it selected. Triple click would give me that whole line, right? I could go up here, but this takes too much time. Oh my God, that takes too much time. What's keyboard shortcut? I know. Last time I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Let me tell you. Shift Command R. If you're on PC, it'd be Shift Control. Shift Command R. Oops, not rulers. Excuse me. Shift Command R. There we go. That was actually the tab thing. Shift Command R is right align. Oh, Shift Command R or Shift Control R on a PC. Oh, how about left align? What do you think the keyboard shortcut is for that?
Shift Command L.
Shift Command L. Let's try it. I'll be damned. Look at that. What about center? Do you think I can center align it? What do you think? Shift Command C. I'll be a son of a gun. Look at that. How about justified? Shift Command J. Now, there's not a lot of lines. You can't tell, and it's, you can't tell on this because it's not a sentence. So Shift Command R. Oh. Now, those keyboard shortcuts, I'll tell you about them. We'll use them pretty often. They save a ton of time. Tons of time. And carpal tunnel. Because you don't have to click with the mouse and roll everywhere and look for it. And if you got a different window up, you don't want to deal with it. Okay, I just hit Command S to save because it's my nervous tick. Okay, first text box. Let's go in there with our type tool. You guys want to know some secret?
This way.
I could bring the text in there and then highlight it all, make it Garamond, make it 11/15, all that. I probably will still have to do that. But if I were going to type something in there, I could set it now. But I'm guessing my secret is no good. If I go to File and Place and I go get the Word document, it's probably set in like Calibri or something. I don't think this will override it, but I'm going to try it anyway. You can try it, but I don't think it's going to work. I'll try it anyway. This is going to be Garamond. So I'm going to go Adobe Garamond Pro regular. And it's going to be 11/15, so I'm going to go ahead and set that. Now, it'll probably mess me up pretty bad because I think I know what I'm doing, but it might tell me I don't. It's also telling me it needs to be justified, so I can hit Shift-Command-J or just click on the Justify button. And my cursor's in there blinking, going, hey, what you doing? Now, if I were to type something, hello, what's going on? Why aren't you typing? It would automatically make it Garamond 11/15 justified, okay, because I did that in the front end. However, when we place a Word document, it might override this with its own formatting. So let's find out. I think my secret is not going to work with the, I could hit Command A and delete with the Word document. Now, do I open up Word and copy and paste? You guys are saying no. What do I do instead? I place. I go to File and choose Place, but I don't like carpal tunnel. What's my keyboard shortcut? Command D, and it'd be on a PC, Control D. Command D is Place in InDesign, not in Photoshop, not in Illustrator. So now I need to go find my typography class, my Exercise 2, Part 1, Exercise 2 files, body copy files, Garamond. You see how quick that is? I know exactly where it is.
It won't let me select anything. Do I have to be in the
You have to have your type tool in your text box.
Also,
Yep, you guessed it.
still won't let me do anything.
Yeah, this is going to override my presets because it's telling me Cambria this time. Oh yeah, it totally overrode everything. So everything I told you is just for if you're going to type stuff in yourself. Okay, so now we're going to have to make a Garamond 11 over whatever.
In this text box.
Yes.
See that I Command B, and I select.
Oh no, you're trying to, that's actually the font, not the Word document.
Oh, I'm in silly.
Yeah, guys, make sure you go into your Word documents, not to your fonts folder. It's an easy mistake because they're all named the same.
My fault.
That's okay. You're
Very silly mistake.
oh, sweetie, be kind to yourself.
I will.
Yeah, guys, it happens to me all the time. Just, you just gotta just go, oh man, yeah. It can be confusing because they're all named the same thing. So please try to be kind to yourself. Okay, we got hyphens in there. I see them. Oh, the first thing I should do is turn off hyphens. In fact, there we go. And you guys know how to turn off hyphens. Click on the backwards P after you highlight everything. Hit Command A to grab it all. Click on your backwards P in your control panel and turn off hyphenation. Now, the cool thing about InDesign is they do things twice. You don't have to be in the character control panel. You can be in the paragraph control panel, and your character stuff is over to the right. So we don't have to go back to your character control panel if you don't want to. So this is going to be Garamond, Adobe Garamond Pro. Yeah, now I got to do it again. I'm going to highlight this and go GAR. There we go. Garamond Pro Regular. Now the type box might not be tall enough. I may have to make it taller. If that's the case, I'm going to hit the Escape key to get my selection tool. I may have to make that taller just so I can see the text. And then I'm going to select all that text again. Make sure you select all the text. Command A. Clicking and dragging is a thing of your past. Just hit Command A or Control A on a PC. All right, so we know this is Garamond. We have got to make it 11 over 15, 11 over 15. If 15 is not in there, just highlight the lettering and type in the number and hit the Tab key. Okay, so I'm over here right now. If you'd rather, I can go back to my character controls. Now it moves it over here. It's the same stuff, it's just a different position.
Don't forget to make it justified.
And she says, don't forget to make it justified. Absolutely. So, what's my keyboard shortcut? Shift Command J. Oh man, that beats having to go all over the place. Now let's talk about this setting. I'm going to deselect and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Guys, if you hit, make sure you're not in the type tool. You'll hit the escape key. If you hit W, that is a what you see is what you get when you print. Now let me click off of this text box so I know there's no blue. That would be what I would get when I'm printing. If it has a black box around there, that means you have a stroke on it. Does anybody have a black box around there? Excellent. Okay, because we see that a lot. Now let's talk about this setting real quick.
How do we see it without all the?
Make sure you hit the escape tool so you're not in the type tool and hit W for what you see is what you get. All right, now if you want to bring back all the grid structure, hit the W again. Just make sure you're not in the type tool. Okay, now this particular setting is not ideal. Even though it's what we're supposed to do, this is the whole point of this discussion is to understand how alignment can affect typography. We call what's going on here, as far as the excessive white space, we call this rivers. Even though it might not create a river, but like when I was a student, the teacher would take, in college, they'd take a pen, a red pen, to enhance my anxiety, and they would go, with a red pen, they would start marking these extra wide spaces, and sometimes they draw a line all the way down here as if they were taking a canoe through my text, because they're going on a little canoe or kayak ride through the rivers of my text. Justified text works best. Now, you don't have to do this, because this is supposed to be 13 picas wide, but justified text works best when you have wider columns because it gets rid of the really awkward word spacing. No more rivers now, but as soon as I go back to 13 picas, you can see that especially in, where that's 16, 15, many of the present day blah, 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 that stuff is too wide. Now, there's one last thing I want to do this paragraph, and because we have Adobe Garamond Pro, the word Pro is helpful. Pro fonts have extra characters, and they will, you can adjust some things like these dates. These dates look like they're all caps. This is not preferable when you're talking about excellent typography or typesetting. The preferred method of managing numbers, if you have a Pro font, all fonts are not created equally. This font, because it's a Pro font, has what's called proportional old style. They're non-lining numbers. Now let me show you what this does. Way out here, some people call it the pancake, some people call it the flapjack, some people call it the hamburger button. Way out to the far right is a button with three stacked marks. What do you guys want to call it? Pancakes, flapjacks, or hamburger? Yeah, I call it the hamburger. I had students last semester that wanted me to call it the flapjacks. I'm like, okay, whatever you want, I don't care. But yes, technically speaking, Alex is right. It is called the hamburger button. So we click on that, and then we go to the topmost item. We're just floating. We're just floating the mouse over open type. And what you want is proportional old style. Let's see what happens to your numbers. Oh, isn't that a sexy little typographic thing? Yes, I call type sexy. I love it. I've spent a lot of my life on it. If you have the wrong font, it won't do this because you have used the preloaded Garamond, not the Adobe Garamond Pro. Yes. Look at the numbers. It is subtle. Look at the numbers. Sorry. Let's zoom in. See that 1561? That is real hip looking, right? Now let me undo this. I'm going to go to open type, tabular lining. Oh, that is not hip. Sometimes we're forced with that. We have to keep that because the font doesn't have the Pro after it. But what this does is it mimics upper and lower case, the ascenders and descenders of the upper and lower case. So we want, when we can get it, we want to have our type be proportional old style. Oh, that is one sexy little number there. It's unwanted attention whenever it's all looking all caps. We want things to read and flow beautifully and just have a nice, normal looking gray space. Proportional old
How
style.
do you get rid of rivers?
That is for another lesson. Jerry Ann asked me how to get rid of rivers, and we actually have a lesson on that next time after our Helvetica one. I think exercise 3 talks about that, so I'm going to hold off. If I try to teach you everything in one day, you won't remember a damn thing. Okay. Alrighty, so let's hit the W key. Make sure you're out of the type box. Make sure you hit the escape key, and then hit the W key so we can see your grid. I'm zooming out. Save it, because that's our nervous habit.
What is it, control? I mean, command.
Command S for save, or Control S if you're on a PC. Yeah, Command S for save. If you haven't named it yet, a little window will come up and ask you what name you want it to be.
Person,
EX2P1. Yes. Excellent. Most excellent. That dude wants his points. All right. Next paragraph will be Baskerville from the top down, because Baskerville is a transitional typeface. It's the next in the historical order. So if you're in your selection tool, just double click on that box and it'll turn into the type tool, and you'll see the little cursors in there blinking. You don't have to go clicking on the stuff if you know what you're doing. All right, Command what for place? Yes, Command D. And we are using Baskerville in this case. Don't you love how I say that? Baskerville. Yeah, it's not Bastardville. Baskerville. I'm going to open that. Oh, yeah, Cambria strikes again. Okay, I don't care. We're going to change it anyway. It's pink because Cambria is not loaded. So let's select all that. Let's set it the way we're supposed to. 11/13. It's already 20 picas wide. We did that work in the beginning. 11/13. Let's see. Oh, Cambria. No, we don't want Cambria. We want Baskerville. B-A-S-K. It'd be the one with the open type, because that's the one I provided to you. So in this case, it'd be Baskerville Cyrillic LT STD upright. It's got the O there. If you don't have that, you'll need to load that. Yes.
I downloaded the one because there was a whole bunch of them. I got the old face one.
Well, let me see what I've got here. See if I messed you guys over here. Exercise 2, Baskerville. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, it's different, isn't it? Oh, no, Baskerville Cyrillic LTSTD. Use the ones I gave you, otherwise you don't get all your points.
Where do you fix the picas again?
Where do you fix picas?
Never mind. Confusing myself.
That's all right. I am throwing a lot at you guys. It can get confusing. Okay, so we need to make that Baskerville, right?
Upright.
Baskerville Cyrillic upright, yes, sir. Turn off your hyphens. Oh my God, hyphenation stuff. They need to make a keyboard shortcut for that. I don't think they have one. If you find one, let me know. I'll give you like 5 points extra credit. Command D was go get it. Go place. That Command D is place. Is that the right question? Did somebody ask Command D? Oh, Command H. I don't know. Command H. Oh, it's hide. Oops, that hide too. That hid too. So I'm going to click on my Indesign down here. Hello, Indesign. And it's going to come back. Excellent, though, if you are looking at something and I'm walking by and you don't want me to catch you, right?
Notes so.
Yeah, to Command H. I should have said that.
Why?
I give you guys all the secrets. I am so uncrazy real. Okay, this needs to be what? Flush left, ragged right. Oh, it's already so. It needs to be 11/13. 11/13.
Flush left, right.
Didn't like that. Flush left, ragged right, right? Baskerville. Flush left, ragged right. It's 20 picas wide already, and it's 11/13, and I'm done with that one.
Can we use proportional old style because of the number?
I could try to use proportional old style, but did the font have the word pro at the end? No. So what happens in this case is if I zoom in and I try to use proportional old style, it does nothing because it doesn't have the pro version. It's not a pro, it's a professional font, but it doesn't have the extras. Thank you for asking about that. Okay, let's save that. Next paragraph, upper right, Bodoni. Let's go get it. You guys know Command D. I'm going to go get some Bodoni. I'm going to select it all. I'm going to make it Bodoni. Make sure you use the right Bodoni. It's going to be an open type Bedoni. Just go ahead and use book or Roman. Roman or book, either one. Roman's a little heavier, book's a little light. Turn off your hyphens. Don't forget those hyphens.
Oh, Houdini.
No, not Bodini, Bedoni. Stop that. You're going to make people spell it wrong. Test. 12 over 16 on this, right, guys?
Wait, so it's Bedoni. What?
I used Bedoni Roman.
There's like a condensed one.
Yeah.
Thick, though.
Does it matter which one you use?
Roman or book would be the best because they're meant for body copy. The other ones, like bold, that's if I needed to have a headline that was bold or bold a word within there. Poster is like ugly. I love Bedoni, but Bedoni poster to me is the most ill-designed thing on the face of this planet when you look at the other letters, the other styles. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah, the STD, yeah, that's the one I gave to you guys. Guys, most of the fonts I give you, yeah, I should use the word standard, like you said. Now, Garamond Pro is the only exception because the Garamond Pro that we own is not an STD font. It came from a different manufacturer, but I wanted the Pro so you could get the old style numbers. 99% of the time, the fonts that I give you will have an STD on the name. Okay? Yes, we're going there. STD, which stands for standard.
We're adults.
Yes, we are, and we can take a joke. So, we're all children at heart, but we know about adult things. Okay, so you can either do Roman or book, because those are the most readable. Roman and book are the most readable, and this is body copy. Okay, and what was this? Flush right, ragged left. You know the keyboard shortcut. Tell me what the keyboard shortcut is for flush right, ragged left. Shift Command R. Yes. You guys are awesome. And did you turn off hyphenation? Double check. You don't want your points taken away. Gosh, this is going by so much more quickly now the computers all work, isn't it? The last paragraph is going to be century expanded, and so we need to get in there. Get your keyboard shortcut. Go get it. Open it. Select it all. Make it the right font. Turn off your hyphenation, of course. Century. Roman. Yes, and we do need to talk about the aesthetics of these because that's the whole point of this assignment. So what are you wanting to discuss with regard to the aesthetics?
Well, it's a personal based on the Garamond. Like Garamond is not the same as yours.
Oh, you have a Garamond that looks different than mine? I would click on the column, click on it first off with the selection tool and make sure that it is 13 picas wide. That's the first thing I would check. That the actual box width is 13 picas.
The box should be 14 picas, but it's not that, it doesn't.
So it does say 13p up in here. Let's take a look. There you go. Okay, 13 picas.
Expanded Roman.
Oh, I'll just drag it up a little bit.
I mean,
You're
that's
missing
the-
some text.
yeah, that's-
Yeah, they say that. No, it's not here. No, it's not here at the end. Oh, you have force justified.
That's what that is, right?
No, it's just regular justified.
Oh, what's the
Yes, let's talk about that because this is very important. Okay, so here's the deal. Some people's may look different than mine. Here it might be why. I'm looking at Garamond, just backing up for just a second here. If you force justify, it will look like this. Oh, that doesn't look like mine. We don't use force justification very often. We also don't use center justified very often. In fact, for years they didn't even have that as an option. We use the first one, justified with the last line aligned left. A lot of people go to that force justified right off the bat and it throws them off. Is that helpful?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm going to save it because I have a nervous habit.
Not have force justified.
Do not use force justified. 99.9% of the time, we do not use force justified. There are times, but not very often. All right, your century should have been set at 10 over 16. Center alignment. I did that so fast I didn't even talk through it
Mhm.
because you guys already know how to do it. Shift Command C gave me center, and I'm gonna double check my work. Is it 10/16? Yep. Centered? Yep. Save this, and I'm ready to package it and turn it in. What do you think? If we package it and turn it in, we can leave early.
All right. See you later.
You guys done yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many of you guys are done? Perfect.
I feel like this is a test.
Everything's a test, I suppose, and when you're in college. It's not a test. You're not in trouble if you're not done. That means you're just catching up. Okay? Don't worry about it. Give yourself some grace here.
Which century was
Yes. The question was, is it Century Roman? And yes, I use Century Expanded LT STD Roman. Is my teaching style boring, you guys?
No.
Okay. I drink coffee for this. Okay, this is fun. All right, now get out your type tool, hit the escape key, then hit the W key. Does this look like it's, kind of compositionally nice? No. So I am going to just make it look kind of pretty. I'm going to kind of visually get those kind of aligned. There we go. Maybe. I don't know. I just want to like 20 picas with 24 picas is just throwing me off.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna have.
You know what?
14
I'm going to move
fonts,
this.
It's probably not going to look very.
Yeah, I'm just going to make it look nice, okay? I'm going to do the best I can with what we have. Don't make your text boxes any smaller because they're supposed to be a certain width. Ugh, that just looks awful, hideous. Yeah, when you have this much variety, it just kind of looks like I don't know, maybe we just end up with organized chaos, huh?
We just leave it cluttered.
You can, but it's just what it is, right? Guys, double check your work before you do the packaging and stuff.
And what century did you use again?
Century Expanded Roman, I think.
Do we gotta put them all in old style? Or just that one?
That's the one.
Well, it's the only one with the pro on it, so it's the only one that's going to give you the cool old style letters anyway, or the non-proportional. So if you try to put the other ones in old style, nothing happens because it's not a pro at the end of the font. Yes, Jess. Does this say "come to me" question?
Yeah.
Jess? Okay.
Oh, I just deleted it. So it's wrong.
Huh? Century Expanded Rome, yeah, 10/16, yeah, that's it. Looks right. Yeah. It's just I'm so zoomed out, you're like, I can't tell what yours is
Yeah.
doing. Yes. Yeah, oh yeah. We have to move this. Excuse me, I didn't see that. You got more than that? Oh, okay, you already had a bunch of comments. Now you gotta move. We won't say one thing. What? Just click inside the box. There you go. One time. There you go. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. We're ready to package. I'm getting ready to go with that. Okay, we're ready to package. You ready? Woo! Your name is on there, yes? Okay. File, package. You should not have any problems here because we've done it right here in class. There shouldn't be any fonts missing or anything. So you hit package. Hit continue on the instructions. Oh, look, it's renaming it the wrong thing. It just puts like minimal in there. So we want to call this your last name, first initial, EX2P1. Oops. EX2P1. Exercise 2, part 1. I'm going to take it to my exercise 2 folder because that's where it needs to go. And I'm going to take it into my part 1 folder. I'm going to package it. Yes, I know fonts are copyright protected. Thank you. And it's going to package. And then I'm going to minimize my InDesign, go find it, and zip it. Oh my, I have a lot of things in here, don't I? Oh, it's this one right here. It has my last name, first initial, EX2P1. Right click and compress. Shouldn't be locked.
Do I need to select all to press? Or should I just select the folder that I just packaged?
Only grab the folder you just packaged. Thank you. Because otherwise I'll have way more stuff than I need. So now if it's easier for you, just package to the desktop, because if you're not used to file management and getting inside of folders and getting inside of folders, do it to the desktop and then organize it later if that helps you. Yes,
Did you
Jess.
zip the PDF or?
I just zipped the package folder.
Oh,
Yeah, the whole package folder, which should have a PDF inside of it.
yeah.
Yeah. Then we upload that to exercise 2, part 1. Yes, Charlie. Oh yeah, you're good. You just hit, no, there's no warnings here, so you just hit package. Hit save, yeah. Oh, now it's telling you save it to where it makes sense. So it's just so take it somewhere it makes sense, even if it's the desktop, if that helps you. It's,
Okay.
for a lot of people, just do that and drag it. There you go.
Okay.
And hit OK, and then you'll zip it and submit it. Yes, Charlie. Yes, sir. The name.
Yeah, the name.
Yes. Yes, you got it. Okay, do I need to cover packaging again? No. If you do not package it, you won't get 0 points, right?
That's why I did it. Nope.
Quickest way to fail something is 1, not do it. The second quickest way is don't package your stuff. Package your stuff, zip it, turn it in. That sounds like I'm telling you to zip it like shut your mouth. That sounds awful, doesn't it? Zip your file. All right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, submit it. I'm going to go there right now. Heck, this was so easy. Today was an easy day, wasn't it? You got a long break. You got to go check out some of Ivy Tech's offerings. Part 1 right there. Part 1 type arrangements. Submit my assignment. Choose my file. Go to my desktop. Oh, mine's not on my desktop. Mine's somewhere else. I got to go get it. Go get my part 1. Go get my zip file. There it is. Open it and submit it. And I can go home. A whole, 20 minutes early. You guys like that? Unless you have class tonight, then you're like, oh, well, I gotta stick around here anyway. Any questions? If you run a little behind, you caught up, that's what I'm here for. I'm not leaving you right now. However, if you're done, we are going to